Hey there, guys. As you know, the current week on Global Brave Exvius is basically a dead week, and there's not much going on. It's a rerun event. There is nothing new. We've got some banners, that's kind of it. And it just made me think, what do we have to look forward to in the future that will be interesting? So in this video, we're going to look at the non-standard events coming up. So, we're still going to be getting all the usual stuff going forward. We're going to get raid events, we're going to get farm events, we're going to get, maybe we're going to get some story events, crown battles. These are all very typical things that, we're not going to go over. We're still going to be getting all that. We're also going to be getting the usual things like Dark Visions, Clash of Wills, every now and then a Vision World. All of that kind of stuff is just the usual stuff, not too exciting, nothing special. But we're going to also be getting a few unique-ish kind of events. And these are like, not really trials, etc., but just stuff that's kind of interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and go over it. Now, as usual, this is all based on the JP server. And as, the longtime players know, Global loves to skip content. So any of this that we go over very well may never make it to Global. But based on what we're going to have going forward, let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So the first kind of interesting thing is the Crystal Tower update. This is, it's technically a rerun. It's the old Crystal Tower, which is the Final Fantasy III tower. So the Final Fantasy III exploration, it's a really big zone. It's coming back. We've had this in the past. This is where you get Onion Knight's gear and all. But they update it in JP. So what this is going to be is, the exploration is updated. It now has an EXT stage. The wiki seems to not have the update for the EXT. That's okay. So the enemies are updated. It's all updated to Neovision's base stats, etc. It's still relatively simple to clear. It is, the hardest one is locked to Final Fantasy III only. So EXT mode, only Final Fantasy III. And that one can honestly be a little tricky, even though Onion Knight should be getting crown updates in the event. He can mostly carry it, but honestly, Final Fantasy III doesn't have a good cast of characters, so it might be a little tricky to do that one. I still did it in JP, but it can be harder. But anyway, the reason this is kind of unique, all of the Onion Knight gear is getting upgraded, and the way you upgrade it is by farming these, I'm not sure if they're going to show them on the wiki, this is a JP page, is by farming these little, like, seeds or crystals. I don't know. The point is you farm it. So you farm and you kill the dragons. So the yellow dragons, the green dragons, etc. Now the dragons randomly spawn in the zone. You're going to either fight a regular enemy or a dragon enemy. And the dragons are not super hard. And again, it's relatively simple to do. But you farm them and you can upgrade all the onion gear. Now, in JP, I'll be honest here, I didn't do this. I basically skipped the entire event because it's relatively tedious and it needs a lot of farming to upgrade all the gear. And even after being upgraded, the gear is not super great. Unfortunately, I don't have a really quick pull-up to show you all the upgrades. It's mostly like flat stats for Final Fantasy III series. You're not going to use Final Fantasy III series units anyway, so it's kind of like farming just for the sake of farming to say you did. But it is an event, and it is, different. So, so for those of you that really enjoyed farming for Mog Cakes back in 2016 or whatever, it's kind of the same thing. You go into the Crystal Tower, you clear enemies, you farm, you run it again and again and again and again. You get a bunch of seeds, and you upgrade the onion gear so you can get a nice decked out Onion Knight to put him on the bench. But still, it's a unique event. I figured I'd mention it. I would honestly say, of all the stuff we're going to cover, this one is the least fun and almost a negative because it's just not fun to just grind farm for the sake of grinding. But there it is. It is unique. Another one is a new series boss battle. This comes with the Final Fantasy Tactics event with the Neovisions, Ramza, Orlandu, Agrius, etc. Now, there's a little bit of a catch here. Even though this is a brand new series boss battle, and it is the whole series boss battle thing, it is literally tuned exactly the same as all the other series boss battles, meaning it is balanced around 7-star units. So what does that mean? It means you go into the series boss battle and you use a Neovisions Limit Burst and it pops it on turn 1. It is completely mind-blowing why they did this. I do not understand what was the point of going through that. I mean, the boss has like a full AI and everything. Like, it's a series boss battle. And they seem to have put in effort designing the boss, but I kid you not, it has the exact same defense and spirit as the 7-star bosses, and it dies in one hit to a Neovisions. I don't get what their thinking was with this. Like, who is this designed for? So hopefully Global will do like they did with Sephiroth and give it an update for a Neovisions base. They can definitely keep the original from JP where it's like a one-hit kill. But hopefully they add an EXT stage where they actually boost the stats a little bit. And if you're going to go through the headache of making a series boss battle, at the very least, make it last more than half a turn. Yeah, it's got 2 billion HP and very low defense. I wouldn't be surprised if Tyvis's preemptive auto-nuke would kill this. But yeah, there's a new series boss battle coming from JP. I figured I'd just point that out, and again, it's different content. I wouldn't call it great content, but it's different. Something else we're going to be getting in the future is the Sealed Tower Level 3. This is the Garuda Tower. On Global, we do have Level 1 and Level 2. Level 3 is pretty similar. It's the same thing, only Season 4 units. It does, I believe, have the evasion field yet again, so you're going to want some accuracy. And this one, the point of it is just for some unit upgrades. So it's going to give you some upgrades for Roos. This is the old Roos, not the new one we just got. This is the original Roos. So it makes him a true dual-wield unit. It gives him a 150 amplify. Here's the tower itself, and it gives you crowns for Roos, an upgrade to his TMR, which makes it a dual-wielded so that you can use 2 of them. Basically, kind of the same thing that Nelica got. It makes him from a double-hander to a true dual-wielder with the 8 times cap. Also, there's a small upgrade for Tyvis and Yish, their STMR. It makes it a little bit better, etc. And yeah, so it's, just another level of the tower. Unfortunately, there is not an upgrade for Garuda from this. So this is just for unit upgrades for Roos and Tyvis Yish. And to be honest here, I, once again, did not do this in JP yet. For me, it is currently incomplete. So I couldn't really tell you how hard it is. The reason I haven't done it is because even with his upgrades, Roos is kind of, who cares? Same as Nelica. Like, you're not going to use him. So I didn't even bother doing it because lazy, to be honest here. When it comes to Global, I'll definitely do it. But in JP, it's just like, it's literally just to buff Roos, and I could care less about Roos. He's not good enough after his buffs. But yeah, it is content, so it'll be something to do. This is permanent content, by the way, and so is the series boss battle. The Crystal Tower, it's technically limited content. In JP, they have rerun this like, I kid you not. I swear it's on permanent rerun. Because each time they rerun it, it's got a duration, and it does close again, but I swear to you, it feels like it comes back the next week. Like, it's just always open almost. So it may as well be permanent. I don't know why they keep rerunning it. Maybe Global will just make it literally permanent. Who knows? But, technically, it's limited duration, and it runs, and then it closes, then it opens back up again. I don't know. Whatever. In any case, this one's permanent, this is permanent, etc. Then, now we get to the things that are pretty interesting. This is the Pride of Royalty. So, do you remember I don't know the technical name, the Maduin or the Medine fight in the Farplane, where you go in there and you craft that magicite necklace. I think it's called the Fighting Spirit or something. In any case, the new tower in the far plane, where you go in there, you kill Medine, and you do him with 8 different parties. Like the fire party, the water party, the wind party. And after doing all the parties, you get the final upgrade to the necklace. This is the same thing, but a new boss. So this one is for the Giants God's Diadem. This one is against Vlad's Vision, or it's the Vlad series boss battle, just upgraded for Neovision. So it's basically, you could almost call it a Neovisions or a series boss battle EXT. That being said, it's still pretty simple to OTK it with some setup. You're probably going to want to do things like your amplify and kill it on turn 2. With a proper team, you can kill it on turn 1, and I did do that with my light party because I have a really strong light party, but it's a little bit hard to kill it on turn 1. Turn 2, though, it's pretty easy to OTK. So overall, this is a very, very simple boss, a lot easier than Medine. You don't need to rely on anything like, reflecting, the defense break like Medine, etc. And it's pretty simple. The special missions are right here on the screen. This time, it's not just the elemental clears. It's fire, ice, evocation, crystals, rebellion, gathering, and another world. Gathering is a category coming soon to global. It comes with the lock event. And then another world is collaborations. So all the collaboration units have the another world category. So on global, that'll be the near units, the Parasite Eve units, the Deus Ex units, plus all the collaborations from JP, like Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts, all that. So you have to use an entire team of collaboration units. And again, this boss is not super hard, honestly. So it'll be fine. And as far as the Giant's Diadem, it's a hat, not a helm, a hat. And the final upgrade is 105 attack power, 50% attack power, 50% double hand, and 50% dual wield. So it's a really good hat, like really good. Probably the second best hat in the game after Clash of Wills. Well, actually, it's literally the best hat in the game, but the Clash of Wills helmet is better. Still, that's a really good item, like absolutely top tier. So I cannot wait to get this on global. And then yet another thing. This is the exact same kind of format. This is where you go in here, the Dragon King Enchanted. You go in here, you kill it, and you craft another item. This one is for the Dark Dragon's Eye +3. That's an accessory. And by memory, I think the accessory is 105 magic, 105 spirit, 50% LB damage, and maybe some killers. I don't remember. It's a pretty decent accessory. I did consider this one overall probably the weakest of the 3 accessory or the 3 items we've gotten. I'd rank them as the God's Diadem as the best item of these. The Magicite necklace from Medine as the second best. This one's probably the weakest. It's still pretty good though. And yeah, so to get this one, we're going to be fighting Vision of Dark Bahamut. Now, for those of you old-timers that remember the original Dark Visions, this is literally the boss of Dark Visions number, I think it was number 3, maybe number 4. It was the Dark Bahamut with like the really trial mechanics. This is the one, this is like the really old, it's literally the same boss, just higher stats. Same AI and all that though. So this is like a really deeply involved boss, a lot of mechanics going on. It's got a really complicated AI. Depending on the element you use, it'll change its rotation. This is back when they used to make really cool bosses. That being said, again, if you have a powerful Neovisions team, you can do your setup and kill it on like turn 2 or turn 3. So it's still not super hard, but it's definitely needs proper setup. And the missions for this one are clearing it with Fire, Ice, Water, Earth, Anniversary JP, Evocation, and Collaborations. And you do all that, and you get the +3 Dragon Eye accessory. And yeah, again, pretty fun. I would say this is definitely the hardest boss of the 3. Medine can be super cheesed with like a really easy clear. Vlad is very squishy and can easily be killed on turn 1, probably turn 2, depending on your party. But Bahamut, he's harder, not hard, but harder. Definitely harder than the other two bosses. And there's no real cheese for this one. You have to do a real team. And yeah, so that's kind of fun. And then the last unique event we're going to be getting, or hopefully getting, is this came with the anniversary in JP, kind of recent. I put out a video of it not too long ago. Chaos Emerging from the Abyss. This is the boss rush for all Dark Visions Abyss boss. I think it was 6 of them. All 6 Dark Visions Abyss bosses. You do them at the same time in a boss rush. And it's not super hard. That being said, if you saw my JP video, you know that I ignored the missions. I just said forget it. And I brought a meta party. And even then, it was still a little tricky to do in I think it was 25 turns. I did it in like 19 or something. I forget exactly. I forget the exact amount. But it was not a big overkill. And I didn't even do the unit mission. I kind of skipped it. The missions are from memory. Use a Brave Exvius only party. The wiki party. Oh, here it is on the wiki right here. So, actually, there's a bunch of them. Let's see. Let's scroll all the way to the side. Here we go. So this is the boss rush version. No continues, obviously. Brave Exvius only. I did not do that mission. And then 25 turns or less. Yeah, I did it in like 18 or something. With a really meta party using non-Brave Exvius units. So yeah, this is actually going to be kind of hard to do using only Brave Exvius. And then as for the regular bosses, there's a bunch of missions for the standalone bosses. For example, one of them is Chaos Bringers only. It's a new category. Royal Flag only. It's a new category. Like Medusa is Crystal only, Gathering only. The Dark guy is Crystals or Evocation, etc. And some of these, obviously, you cannot do at the same time. Like, for example, like Dark Medusa. Like, right here, like Blessing of the Crystals and Gathering. Like, you just can't really make a real party of Gathering and Crystal units. They definitely do exist. For example, I believe Lena is both Gathering and Blessing of the Crystals. So, technically, you know, there are combinations to do all of these at the same time, like Chaos Bringers and Royal Flag. I think Saul is both the categories, etc. So that, you know, there's certainly combos you can do, but honestly, just run the boss twice. Like, do a Rebellion party, come back in, and do an Evocation party. Don't stretch yourself out trying to do, like, Evocation Rebellion, which is, like, Diverty is the only one. Just out of curiosity, who even is Evocation plus Rebellion? Let's see, just real quick. Deity of War Tyvus might be. Actually, I don't think he's Rebellion, honestly. Diverty is. He's both. That might be the only one. Like right here, Ferris is both Gathering and Evocation, so there's like a double tag. Anyway, you get the idea. It's pretty hard to make a party that matches both the categories. Just run all these bosses twice. Don't stress out about it. And yeah, there's the only upcoming unique content. All the rest of the content is either going to be global exclusive, which we can't predict, or it's going to be standard stuff like, you know, raids, Mog events, crown battles, dark visions, etc. So Crystal Tower, SVB Seraph, and Seal Tower level 3, these are kind of like, not super exciting. I mean, they're new, they're interesting, but they're not interesting. They're new, but like Seraph, unless global changes it, it's a turn 1 OTK. Crystal Tower is very, very tedious and grindy. Sealed Tower is just pointless, honestly, because Roos is not good enough. But these are fun. These are really good. So the Pride of Royalty with the crown is amazing. The Dark Bayonet with the Dragon's Eye is really cool. And then the Chaos Emerging is really cool. Gives you a lot of Lapis, a lot of free summon tickets, etc. It's fun to do. So yeah, hopefully Global doesn't skip any of this, and we should be getting all of this in the future. And hopefully we have less of these dead weeks where there's just nothing to make videos about. I have to like scrape the bottom of the barrel for this kind of stuff. So there we go. See you in a bit.